Welcome, it's Madgarou, and this is another 5-minute session. This one's going to be tough to get it there, but basic Gigantamax strategy, and away we go. Alright, for the overall series episode plan, we're going to have at least 5, probably more. First one's going to be this one, which is going to be the basic Gigantamax strategy. This is really going to be very helpful for teams of 24 to 40. Even simpler Gigantamax battles with a group of 40, if you don't have a good plan, you still may fail. This is going to help you understand the best ways to at least get through this as fast as possible. Then I'll teach how to build a tank, attack, and support unit during each episode. And finally, I'll do more advanced Gigantamax strategies. This is probably going to be another multi-parter, as there's many different ways that you can. But we were able to use a Gengar with really only 2 leveled units and a team of 10 total members. We only had 3 teams, and one of them wasn't even full, and we were still able to beat it fairly easily and consistently. So, the optimal team setup. The first one, I call it the sacrificial tank. So, I'm going to be using the units that I used for Gengar. The first one was the Madgarou. The Madgarou here was basically designed just to survive long enough. It only was gone from a Beldum up to a Madgarou. I put very little to no other candies into it. The goal with the Madgarou was to make it to the first transformation, first Dynamax, and the unit. If the unit fades before you get there, that's okay. The goal is just to allow your units to be able to get there, and even with only getting it to the Madgarou, it was able to survive most of the time. Next one here is the attack unit. This one I'm going to use Gengar, but the attack unit that I used for Gengar is going to be the next Madgarou that you will see. And what you're going to do is just before the max meter is filled, you're going to need to switch, or you could do this during transformation, and I'll tell you how to do that a little bit later to do the attack. Now, if you're not doing the attack unit, you can then go ahead and do a support unit if you just don't have a good attack unit as well instead, but it follows the same rules. For attack units, though, make sure the Dynamax unit, if you're using a Dynamax, has a fast attack that's strong against the foe that you're fighting. So if you're using a Beldum, you want to use Psychic, not Steel, against Gengar, as Gengar's weak to Psychic. That is going to be your max attack there, but the Gigantamax Pokemon has a set attack, and for Gengar it's Terror, which is very strong against Gengar itself as well. You're always going to want to max your power attack moves if you're using an attack unit. That has the highest priority. It does the most additional damage per candies, and also it doesn't use Stardust, which is very important. And when you're done with your 3 attacks or whatever skills that you use, you want to swap to either of the tanks after your transformation is completed. And the last one is the final tank of support. Here's my Madgarou. I was able to heal my teammates, guard, and I could still attack with the Max Mindstorm, as my Psychic Fast move. It can be weaker than the first tank. I prefer to have my weakest tank the first one. Doesn't really matter, no, but I think that's the optimal range overall. And this unit should probably have a leveled up Max Spirit with a possible Max Guard as well. It is not required though, but for optimal use, yes, that would be nice. For a normal team player that just doesn't really go that often, you do not need to have all that extra support. So here's the optimal team, and now we're going to go with the basic battle strategy. You could talk with your teammates, and basically if you look here, you can see team 1 of 2. If you say I'm on team 1, you guys can coordinate with that team that you're in. I will go more into details with the advanced battle section, but this is very important to at least understand and get to right now. You want to get to with the first tank. This tank will take a lot of damage, and the goal is to make it to the first transformation. When you make max meter switch, you could switch to the attacker support during the Dynamax or Gigantamax change by hitting the buttons right here. This will allow you to switch without taking any damage. You either could do a support and or an attacker. It's whatever what your team decides. Once you are done, you're going to want to move back to your tank as quickly as possible, and this will allow you to keep your attack unit, which is probably going to be the unit that you're going to spend the candies on first, or the G particles first, if possible. I know I went over. This was a lot to go in 5 minutes, but I will always try and do better next time. Thank you, and please like and subscribe.